Get ready to hear one of the most shocking facts about narcissism. Scientists have found a frightening part that almost seems demonic. You did hear that right. You might believe that this finding will finally show vanity for what it is. But wait, there's more bad news behind the story. The truth is that this discovery isn't about the narcissist at all. It's about you. Demon face syndrome is a term you may have heard of. That's what people call it informally, but in medicine it's called prosopometamorphopsia. When I first heard the term, I thought it meant why a narcissist's face seems to change into something scary when they are angry, or when the relationship is falling apart. It made me think that it might confirm the scary nature we've seen in these people. But when I looked into it more, I was shocked to find that this problem has nothing to do with them. It's about you. As it turns out, you may be the one who is troubled, not the narcissist. If you go to a therapist who doesn't know much about narcissistic abuse and say, "Doctor, I saw something bad in my partner's face near the end of our relationship. What was it?" If you ask, "Am I going crazy?" you won't get a comfortable answer. You won't hear, "No, you're not imagining things, that's who they really are." Instead, you'll likely be told you have demon face syndrome. The doctor may tell you that you have a mental illness, delusions, or even a psychotic break. Isn't that the very definition of blaming the victim? You and I both know that ego can also be very bad. Not only us, but a huge number of other people have also mentioned the same thing. How come so many people who have been abused by narcissists are wrong or have the same disorder? These people didn't just happen to be alive. They were manipulated and mistreated in a certain way. Still, their experiences are brushed off as delusions. The first time I heard about this disorder, it made me worry. Why? Because I know how things work in hospital settings. People who have been abused by narcissists are often ignored, called unstable, or accused of making up their stories. What about what I've seen, though? What about what other survivors have to say? Do you think we're all crazy? This rejection only makes survivors feel even more alone, which is a terrible result. As I thought about it more, I began to understand the real reason for this dismissal. Why isn't there a more in-depth investigation? The truth is that there is a plan to hide narcissistic abuse and make people less aware of it. Some groups are getting more uncomfortable as words like thought to be mental illnesses are now seen in a different way. Think about autism spectrum disorder. It used to be called a mental illness, but now it's known as neurodiversity, which means having a different way of feeling and interacting with the world. What they're calling demon face syndrome follows the same line of thought. That's not a mental illness. It's a real thing that happens. Instead of doing more study to fully understand these experiences, those in power choose the easier option, putting a label on them. This makes survivors even more traumatized. This may come as a surprise, but a lot of people who have been abused by narcissists are given the wrong diagnosis in therapy, usually borderline personality disorder, BPD. Why? Because they are very sensitive to rejection, have unstable emotions, and act in ways that don't fit with how therapists usually work. As a result, a wrong diagnosis that makes things more complicated and harmful. Still, the label demon face syndrome has a strange and hilarious upside. It makes me feel like I'm not alone. Even though it sounds crazy, at least it means that those dead scary eyes you saw were real. Yes, you did see something reptile or evil about the way they acted. Even therapists are admitting that people can sometimes see what's going on beneath the surface, though they won't say it in the usual sense. Even though it's small, it's still a win. Being sure that what you saw was real will help you feel better. This confirmation proves that leaving someone who doesn't care about you, who doesn't have a soul, was the right thing to do. Now let me address a common argument. Some say that blaming narcissists for their behavior by saying it's caused by evil or demonic forces frees them from responsibility. The truth is very different from this. No one is saying they aren't responsible for what they did. Even if evil forces try to change their behavior, it is still the narcissist who picks destruction over and over again. Because of the choices they make, they leave themselves open to bad forces. According to neuroscientists, change is possible as long as the prefrontal cortex stays working. This is the part of the brain that controls decisions, emotions, and impulses. This is also true for narcissists. They don't just act without thinking. They choose what to do. They don't just decide to manipulate, get angry, or act out. They do it on purpose because it helps them get what they want. Narcissists tend to choose the easiest route, which makes them even more dark and almost evil. People who consistently align themselves with evil forces start to become those forces. In the worst cases, this shows up physically. They lose their mind, their faces change, and their real nature comes out. Why do you think that people have devil face syndrome? What do you think it does to people? I'd love to hear what you think and any personal stories you might have. Leave them in the box below. This subject makes me think of my grandfather. He used to talk very loudly to himself like he was talking to someone who wasn't there. He would even laugh sometimes. From the outside, it might have looked like a mental health problem. But I knew he was up to something bad. I knew he was interested in bad things. He even told me that he used spells to get divorced couples to break up. He showed me the whole process, including every word and piece of paper that was needed. Even though I never did them, the fact that he told me about them was scary. As soon as I told him what I knew, which would reveal his secrets, he cut me off. There was no way he could look at me. My family thought something was wrong, but I had seen and heard too much to believe them. It was said that his house was plagued by evil spirits, which made things even stranger. Some parts of me wanted to ignore it all, but what I had seen could not be denied. That story will have to wait for another time, but the truth is that dark spirits do exist. For me, learning about ghosts like Leviathan and Jezebel made sense. Even though these names come from Christian beliefs, they all mean bad things. I really think that narcissists let these forces in. So, thanks for staying with me through this show. Don't forget to hit the like button if you like this chat. Sign up now if you're new here or haven't already. You won't want to miss any future movies. Please feel free to share this with someone who could use hearing this word. I value all of you. Don't give up. Keep getting better and don't stop looking for the truth. See you in the next show.
Welcome back, lovely viewers. Today, we delve into a crucial subject that's been on many minds: navigating the labyrinth of dealing with narcissists while safeguarding your mental and emotional well-being. Tired of being ensnared in the snares of self-absorbed individuals? Fearful of the toll their toxic behavior might exact on your psyche? Fear not, for you've arrived at the right destination. In this presentation, we unveil 11 cunning maneuvers employed by narcissists and illuminate the motives behind their actions. Narcissists derive immense satisfaction from exerting control and manipulating others to fulfill their desires, leaving behind a trail of confusion and emptiness. But fret not, for we shall arm you with the knowledge to identify these tactics and assert your boundaries. Prepare to expand your understanding as we equip you with the tools necessary to shield yourself from further harm. Don't forget to show your support by hitting the like button, subscribing to our channel, and sharing this invaluable resource with those in need. Together, let's empower each other to confront narcissism with resilience and grace. Narcissists often play these two mind games. The verbal shuffle is the first mind game. When narcissists talk, they know how to twist words and have a twisted tongue. This sneaky strategy goes against the Bible teachings that people should tell the truth. If you let their word gymnastics fool you, they might trick you into something bad. They trick people by making claims that don't come true. Even though they say nice things, their actions rarely match what they say, leaving victims confused and mentally tangled. When narcissists are caught lying or manipulating others, they try to avoid taking responsibility by blaming others. Verbal shuffle is a trick meant to play with people's feelings and trap them in a web of empty promises. The generosity gambit is the second mind game. Narcissists act like they want to help others, but their kindness is just a front for their selfish goals. In contrast to the genuine charity praised in the Bible, their acts of kindness are selfish and meant to benefit themselves. They give gifts and praise to their prey to control and trick them. At first, Victims are fooled by what seems like kindness, but they soon see the hidden strings connected. The narcissist's kindness wavers as they are reminded of the things they are meant to have given up. This trick is used by narcissists to get people to feel guilty about not paying back debts, making them think the narcissist is kind while taking advantage of their kindness. Nasty people also like to play these two mind games. Third mind game. The mirror move. Like how a projector projects pictures onto a wall, narcissists project their own problems onto other people. Even though they act brave, they are really full of fears and shame. Instead of dealing with these problems within themselves, they put the blame on others for their flaws. Projections can be done proactively or reactively, and they can make their victims feel confused and doubtful of themselves. The mirror maneuver is a way for narcissists to shift blame from their flaws to those they are hurting. Narcissists use their victims' desire to improve themselves to force them to believe false charges against them. To see through this trick, you have to look inside yourself and rely on divine direction to tell the difference between truth and manipulation. The fault shift shuffle is the fourth mind game. Narcissists are very good at putting the blame on others, which lets them avoid taking responsibility. Underneath their fake confidence lies a weak person who needs to be validated and relies on other people to boost their weak sense of self-worth. They are very good at playing the victim, making things up or embellishing events to make themselves look innocent and draw attention away from the bad things they've done. They blame their partner for all the problems in the relationship because they don't want to take responsibility. When pushed, they use manipulation to get what they want. This behavior, which is similar to Adam blaming Eve in the Bible story, is an attempt to get others to feel sorry for them and give in to their needs. The vulnerability vendetta is the fifth mind game. Narcissists are very good at finding their victims' flaws and taking advantage of them. This is called the vulnerability vendetta. They get information about their targets that they can use against them by carefully watching and tricking them. After love bombing their victims at first, they use a flood of triggered reactions during fights, bringing up every mistake and word from the past to make their partner feel unstable. This strategy is similar to how evil forces use servants to spy on and trick people. The narcissist's goal is to shock their partner into losing control so that they can look calm and in charge while slowly driving their victim crazy. If you find value in our conversation, would you please show your support by subscribing and turning on alerts below? On top of that, if you like our material and want to help, you can donate as little as $1 on our Ko-fi page. Every contribution, no matter how small, helps us improve and keep the quality of our material high. As a special thank you to those who become members, your name will be widely displayed at the beginning of our videos. This is to show how much we appreciate your kind support. We're grateful for your support, which lets us keep making the content you love. Thank you for being an important part of our community. Find the Ko-fi link in the next sentence and join us on this journey as a valuable member. Game 6. The loss of ego. Narcissists use techniques to put down and insult people in their circle because they are constantly trying to be in charge. They try to show that they are better and more powerful by making sly jabs, hurtful comments, or public jokes about other people. They get pleasure from making their targets feel bad, and they enjoy the idea that they are better than everyone else. The ego erosion is only used by narcissists to make themselves feel better. They don't care about others and hurt their victims deeply emotionally. The puppeteer's ploy is the seventh game. Narcissists are very good at using a wide range of manipulative techniques to get what they want from other people. They use flattery and charm as bait to play with people's feelings, taking advantage of weak spots and using tricks like gaslighting and emotional manipulation to stay in charge. Hidden behind a front of fake kindness, their trickery is meant to satisfy their endless need for love, even if it means hurting other people. By using tricks like guilt-tripping, spreading fear, and stonewalling, they get other people to do what they want, using dishonest methods to stay in charge. The reflection ruse is the eighth game. Narcissists use mirrors to make links with others, but they do it dishonestly by changing the way their targets look in the mirror to learn something useful. At first, it seems like they have similar interests and values, so they copy each other's actions and habits to give the impression that they understand and are friends. But this mimicking is tainted. It's used to trick people instead of building real relationships. It's possible for victims to trust the narcissist's front, not realizing the bad goals hiding behind the mirror image. Game 9. The act of apologizing. Narcissists may use weak explanations as a way to regain control when they are rejected or pushed to the edge. These apologies don't come from a real desire to say sorry. Instead, they're often used to put the blame on someone else or the target. Although victims may want real change, the narcissist's apologies only hide their manipulative goals, creating a false sense of resolution that lets them keep playing mind games without being caught. Game 10. The press that tricks people. When narcissists want to control and influence others, they use strong forms of coercion, like shaming, guilt-tripping, and triangulation. Their goal is to make you feel bad about yourself, break down your defenses, and finally force you to do what they want. This sneaky way of controlling people seeps into every part of interactions, making relationships with narcissists draining and tiring. As they try to keep their psychological hold on you, they quickly respond to any pushback with gaslighting and emotional manipulation. Their sneaky moves, which are like dark magic, are full of lies and remind me of how sneaky their enemy is. The goal of the coercion game is to keep you in their web of control for as long as possible. Game 11 is called the Maze of Deception. Talking to a narcissist is a lot like getting lost in a maze, because they use word salads and inconsistencies to make things hard to understand. When people try to get clear, they are met with avoidance and gaslighting, which makes things even less real. They easily turn simple questions into complicated answers, which makes me think of the serpent's craftiness in Genesis 3 verse 15. In the confusion game, the goal is to make you question yourself and your beliefs, make you uncertain, and change the way you see the world. Knowing these 11 sneaky tricks that narcissists use to trick people is the only way to protect yourself from their plans. Being aware of these methods gives you the tools to set limits, protect your mental and emotional health, and break free from their harmful hold. Don't forget that you deserve love, respect, and real relationships, and that no one can control or manipulate you. Be strong, watch out, and stay true to who you really are. Thanks for watching. If this video was helpful, please like, follow, and share it with others who might also find it useful. We can help each other deal with narcissists and build relationships that are better and more fulfilling if we work together. Take care, and until next time, put your safety and independence first.
Get ready to hear one of the most shocking facts about narcissism. Scientists have found a frightening part that almost seems demonic.